Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech protected.
Welcome to another episode of Welcome Keene. My name is Aggie. Thank you for watching our show. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for your support. Today's guest is very exciting. He's the president of the Greater Keene and Peterborough Chamber of Commerce, which is a very important organization that supports and helps small business grow. It supports, promotes, protects the interests of its members. It provides different kinds of services such as promotion and marketing services, educational opportunities, networking, staffing guidance, consultative services, many more. I know it can be very difficult to start a new business. So, sometimes not understanding the law, sometimes not understanding the taxes, finances, regulation can be very overwhelming and can be just really scary, can be very scary. So knowing that there are people around us who are there to help you, knowing that they're just a phone call away, knowing that they're just a small, short walking distance away, and they're there for us, ready to help grow your business. It will make your life much easier. So that's why I'm very excited to talk to one of the most resourceful person in the city.
Wow, I'm resourceful.
Luca Paris is my guest today. Thank you so much for coming to the studio.
It's really excellent to be here, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to start off, but you didn't get the memo. That's okay, but we're now called the Greater Monadnock Collaborative. This is cool. It's like I get to announce this to your audience.
Perfect.
So the Greater Monadnock Collaborative, the idea behind a chamber of commerce, and first of all, what is a chamber of commerce? That should be the first question anyone asks.
It's going to be
I
the
bet
first
it's on
question.
there, right?
It is going to be the first question.
I memorized your questions. Anyway, what is a chamber of commerce? Now, most people don't know.
Correct.
And
especially young people, young professionals, right?
Exactly.
That's the problem. I feel like that maybe older generation, they've been here for a long time, they know exactly what it is, but the younger generation, I think there might be a small gap.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is not only not knowing what a chamber is the chambers not knowing what they're really about, or forgetting, or not growing with the times, or evolving, right? And like any business, now first of all, we even have to take a couple of steps back and we'll get to it, but this is only a couple of years into me being a chamber president. I didn't wake up when I was 15 and go, ooh, I can't wait to be the president of a chamber of commerce, because I had no idea what that was.
You weren't born like that?
No. I've always wanted to be in the food industry. I've lived on a whole life of the restaurant business, and I've done that. I've owned my own business since I've been 21. I've made all the mistakes that I can make and still found a way to fall into success, just like any business goes. But it was a lot of hard work and not knowing. And so I have always belonged to chambers of commerce, understood what they meant for a community. But at some point in time, many of them across the country started forgetting to keep up with the times. And this is why the next generation or the next evolution of new business owners have no idea what a chamber of commerce does. So, when I say the next generation and the next evolution of business owners, it's not just an age thing. You could be a new business owner in your 40s or 50s.
Correct.
Doing a lifestyle change or a second career or that passion career or whatever. But where does the chamber fit in with you? And it doesn't, in a lot of ways, sometimes it doesn't in different areas. Now, as a business owner, I went through the pandemic. And I don't know if you or some of your viewers know this, but during the pandemic, one of the things I decided to do as a business owner was take the restaurants on our shoulders and go, hey, what can we do to help us all get through this? So there was a lot of conversations. I set up weekly meetings with the state. I set up weekly meetings with our city leaders, HVAC professionals, insurance people, and I invited all the restaurants to it. And then we did a whole campaign where I bought $10,000 worth of gift cards and invited the community to help me. And we bought them from restaurants and gave them back to the community and said, spend so we don't go out of business. So there was this kind of already built-in camaraderie that we developed. And then after the pandemic, I was doing well and loved it. And then I saw the position open. And someone asked me, what do you want to see in the next chamber president? And I said, honestly get us to this new generation, this new way
Yes.
of dealing with things, this new. I mean, they still did things like in the early 2000s or 1990s.
Yes.
And it was nothing against who was running it. These were great people. But you do get left behind. And if the one thing I could tell anybody owning a business is if you don't evolve, and it's not evolving after a decade, it's evolving year after year, you're going to get left behind and you become irrelevant. And the worst thing in business is to become irrelevant, right? So I know I'm all over the place, but the idea of what is a Chamber of Commerce brings it all back to that. A Chamber of Commerce is supposed to do all the stuff you said. It's supposed to help. It's supposed to be there. It's supposed to do all that.
Yes.
And I use 3 words. And the easiest way to introduce me to any of your friends in business,
Okay.
what does Luca do? Connect, communicate, collaborate. And if you do that, if I do that every day, if we do that with every member, if we do that with every person we meet, I did that with you right before this show.
Yes.
I connect people. I go, you both have to meet. And see where it goes from there.
That's what it is. To me, Chamber of Commerce is all about trust, right?
Yeah.
It's all about connections.
Yeah.
It's all about knowing the local business community, right? That's how you build the trust. That's how you build the relationships
100%.
with the local partners, right? How do you maintain them over time, though? Like once you join the Chamber of Commerce.
So I think it goes 2 ways. One, it's you as a business. Now remember, I've done this. I just hit the mic and they're crying in there right now. They're not even there. But you as a business owner, or me as a business owner, has to be involved, right?
Right.
Okay, let forget chamber and business, right? Every relationship in the world revolves around 2 people or 2 entities being involved, and the relationship only works as long as something is given and something is received on both sides.
Right, and it's trustworthy.
It starts with trust.
Right.
And then it starts with everything else. There has to be a benefit. There's no difference than when people come to the restaurant and come to eat there. They have a certain set of expectations. They want to be taken care of. They're willing to pay, but you have to match what their needs are. And when you don't, whether they don't like the style of food, they don't like the service or that, when you don't, they'll find somewhere else to go.
They don't come back.
They don't come back. So what you have to do as a business owner is the same thing that I have to do as the president of the chamber. My clients, my guests, my members are my customers, right? So I need to find what their needs are. Now, different needs. A restaurant or a store like Ted's Shoe and Sport on Main Street have different needs than a company like CNS or Nanotech, where they're investing in us to do something for the community. Ted wants to see a return on his investment that looks like me promoting him and saying his name here because he gave me $5 to say his restaurant.
Right.
His
That's what
store
we're
name.
supposed to be doing here. Bring business.
Yeah. So listen, I keep getting $5 every time I mention your
So
name.
I have a question because I'm very interested in diversity and
I love
inclusion.
that.
So I am thinking about somebody who just graduated with the Master of Business Administration degree, and she's not from this country, but she's been a resident of Keene for a really long time.
Right.
And she's been thinking about starting a new business, and she has a lot of questions. So what do you think, what is the earliest stage at which we can engage with Chamber of Commerce?
Yesterday.
Okay.
So
I will
here's
tell her. I know, did you hear?
So so come see me. Here's the reason why. Even if we don't have all the answers, when we made ourselves the Greater Monadnock Collaborative.
Right.
The word collaborative is the most important word in the title because what I have is the ability to reach out to different organizations that could benefit her. So for instance, someone comes to me and says, I have this idea for a business. Should I become a member? No, you shouldn't become a member yet. Wait till your business starts. But you know who you should talk to? You should talk to Marianne over at Hannah Grimes because they're going to put you in a business incubator depending on what you're looking for. And then you're going to talk to my good friend Cody Morrison at Monadnock Economic Development if you're looking for some type of funding or understanding, or you're trying to find money or gap funding or whatever. Or you're going to talk to my friends at the SBDC, the Small Business Division, the Small Business Department, and you're going to talk to them about creating a business plan. And you're going to talk to them about where is their financing? Are there angel investors in what my dream is? So if she has the dream,
Yes.
I could tell her which way she
And
needs to
this
go.
is an excellent information because you're talking about new generation of the business people, and I think there's more and more diversity right now in Keene.
Incredible.
You can see a lot of more people from different countries, and they are trying to like figure out their place in Keene, and they're trying to open new restaurants, or they're trying to open new business, and they have no idea. They're completely lost. So it's really good to know where to go. Guys, if you are thinking about starting a new business, you really want to talk to Luca and his team. And don't even think twice, like, what should I do? Because it can be very overwhelming. So that's a wonderful place to come and get the resource-free information. Do you charge for the services?
No, there's no charge for getting people to the people they need to be, and being taken care of, right? I mean, the goal would be, and again, it's an organization, it's a nonprofit organization. What I run is, so, and there's a lot more, and I do want to make sure we touch on how we're, as an organization, trying to get more people to this area, and we'll talk a little bit about that, because I think you and I both found this area the same way. We married into people that knew it more, right?
Right.
I was born in Italy, grew up in New York City. My wife was from Swansea. Now, after we got married, I thought in my head, there's no way I'm ever going to move here. But after a couple of years of coming to visit, all of a sudden I fell in love with it.
I love it.
See, you see this? Well, the story is very
like
real.
My story, literally.
Right? It's so common as a story for people that have found their way here. Now we have to realize, and we'll get back to the business side, but this is important. I think we need to share this for the idea of diversity. Let's be real. People aren't having kids the way they used to. There's a whole generation I might be the last generation where people were having a lot of kids, and not even.
That is true.
Because I'm from Generation X, and it's slowed down. But there are less people being born in the area, a lot of people leaving. I have the perfect example. I have a son who's going to live here forever. I have a daughter that I'm going to be chasing around the world to go visit her. So, but that's okay. But unless you marry someone and bring them back, or they come here because of school or because of work,
right?
Who's going to find the Monadnock region, from Brattleboro to Peterborough to Walpole to Winchester? This area here is so amazing. So our responsibility as a collaborative is now to promote, and not promote to the people that are already here. You got to get them excited. But these people that would never have thought, or can't even say the Monadnock, or never have thought, where is this place? But once you get here, there's already pockets of interesting international and cultural diversity that are just growing.
Right.
And you and I got here, I got here 24 years ago.
You
12. 24 years ago, there was nothing. I said I was opening up a Mediterranean restaurant. People were like, wait, what's that?
12 years ago, there was nothing.
Right, but now you walk down, there's Yasso, there's a lot of places.
Right, and we have international festival that promotes the diversity.
And we're doing more and more every day.
The Pride Parade, like it's been so much going on right now. It's so
incredible.
wonderful to witness that, like that everybody is invited, everybody's included. Like you don't feel like, when I moved here, I felt like I'm the only person from a different country here. But now it's like it's more connected. So I had that question that I wanted to ask you. How is Chamber involved in the diversity and in inclusion?
Well, part of it is supporting the things that are happening. You know, Gail Somers, who's going to do a cultural center in town.
Right,
making sure we're supporting that, and I think she'd be a great guest for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Making sure we support the local businesses. I have my good friends Kenny and Elijah and Elisa and Carl. I'm going to get them all right. The four of them own New England Sweetwater in Winchester. They're two families from Brooklyn, New York. They came up here, and what it is supporting them to get their faces in front of people,
right?
To say, hey, you got to meet my friends. And we became friends before I became the president of the chamber. So it's just finding these people and supporting what they're doing.
And connect them together, like let them know where to go. Because when you're new to the area, you have no idea where to
That's
go.
why you have to come see me.
Right,
No,
exactly. That's why I wanted to talk about it and like let people know. Just go to Lucas.
I'm the linchpin.
It's in downtown, right on the circle. His office is right there.
Yeah, it's right across from where my restaurant used to be. So
exactly, like that. My friend, and I know more people like that. I know a woman from Afghanistan, that there were so many people moving from Afghanistan in
Sure.
2022, I think, after
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
The whole situation, and they were lacking bread, so she opened a restaurant.
Oh,
She's
where?
baking in Brattleboro.
I need to see that.
Yeah, when
No,
you
I
go to
love
Co-op,
that.
when you go to yeah, she's making that Afghan bread. But I'm sure she didn't know how to do it. She didn't know how to connect with
Exactly.
people. It's the same with my friend from India. She has no idea where to go. She has a degree, but then where to go? So I wanted to let those people know that there is help.
I tell you, it really is. Again, when I say the three words, I don't joke around. It's connect, communicate, collaborate. If you're connected to me, there is another 10,000 people I could connect you to, because
That is true.
just
That
like
is true. I just got connected.
you just had it happen.
Within 2 minutes.
But that's how I feel. It's like when I meet someone, I'm like, oh, I already know who you should be talking to. And that just starts the thing. And I didn't know that this was going to be my passion career. Like, I spent 30, 40 years now, and wow, that's a lot. 30 plus years in the restaurant
How old are you,
industry.
25?
Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, thank you. It was a rough 25 years, thanks. But so I spent all this time in the restaurant industry thinking that's where I was going to live all my life, right? And I didn't realize I would have a passion after that, or a calling to do what I'm doing. But when I fell into this, I understand what it means.
Mm-hmm.
I understand how important my role is in the community. It might sometimes be a joke and like dance around or do a video or
I
promote.
saw 2 videos
Oh, we
of
don't
you
wanna know.
singing. That was amazing. I loved it.
But sometimes it's that, and I say if you're laughing at me or with me, I don't care. That means you're smiling.
Exactly.
But on the other side of it, it's also about connecting people. And in the 2 years, just the 2 short years I'm doing this, I feel like I do that more every day, and it's such a good feeling, because then you know you've helped somebody. So whether it's Kenny and his family, or Jessica, who joined the chamber not knowing what it was about, and then all of a sudden has an amazing career out of it. She had a small business and grew it. Those are just 2 small examples of what we do every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I love what I do. I
Okay,
love
so now we need
doing
to
it.
get you involved in the international festival.
I want to be there. I want to.
We can make it grow even more.
I think it's one of the coolest festivals here.
Really is.
I love what it does. I love what it stands for. And where else can you walk 5 different booths and be in 5 different countries, right? Flavor-wise, and
I mean the way people dress and like the way people
Everything.
perform and everything.
the
It's-
music,
it's-
the sound,
yes,
the feel,
taste, everything.
I mean, one of the greatest things I love about the International Festival, and food specifically,
Right.
is how it transforms you. And you talked about, well, before we got on, like making pierogies, right?
Right.
I would, you know how excited I would be to eat one of your pierogies, because the fact that it's you grew up, you saw it being made, you learned it. It's
like
part of your heritage.
piece of my country, a piece of my
Exactly,
heart.
but it's a piece of you,
right?
right?
It's
And
handmade. It's made with heart, so it's totally.
That's
different.
what food does,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So
absolutely.
whether it's that, or I told you the story about cooking with the Tibetan monks. Wow, this is such an incredible experience to see how they feel about their food.
It's
So
like-
you teach more through that, even more than music and song and dress. I think food really exudes someone's
It touches all
passion.
your senses.
Exactly.
Right?
We're having too much fun.
So
I told you we weren't going to get through that.
Tell me how the average day of the president of the Chamber of Commerce look like.
You're looking at it. It's
Yeah.
right here. This is it.
Pretty
No,
exciting.
but it's. I don't think what we're doing is much different than what I do all day.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's. Don't tell anybody. I don't think I work.
You always come back home happy from work, like never
Really?
grumpy, always happy.
I remember. So just this past Tuesday, I do a lot of little events that try to get 10 people together, 20 people together, 10 businesses. 50.
I want to ask you, what kind of events do you have set up?
So once a month in Keene on a Tuesday morning, we do a breakfast, and last one we had 25 different people.
Where's
there.
that?
At the Hampton Inn and Suites. You're going to come to the next one. I'm telling you about it. I want you to be there, because you know what? What you're going to find is more guests for the show.
Perfect.
And you're going to see what happens. So I walk away from those totally jazzed, because I get the ball rolling. It's almost like setting up 2 friends on a blind date, right? It's like, hey, I'm going to introduce you guys. I'm going to talk to you, and then I walk away. And then the most excitement I get is at the end of this event, where I have everybody introduce themselves. I go stand outside because I'm going to go say goodbye. Nobody leaves the room for like 15 minutes. And I go, I did it.
And you get
I walk away. There's
you get
so
25
much.
hugs from everybody,
Yes,
right?
yes. There's just and we need to build. I don't think people need to worry about doing business with each other. They need to build relationships with each other. So
You need
that
to have passion for the business, then you need to have the relationships, and
the
then money
relationships
comes with that
relationships
later.
start everything.
Yeah.
So and it's learning about someone, learning about who they are. Again, it goes back to the first thing we talked about was there's no difference between you going to buy something at a store and creating that relationship with your customer than two people meeting each other and having any type of friendship, family, and further, right? So it's all the same.
So that's on Tuesday once a month?
Tuesday once a month. In Peterborough, we do every other month, we do a big breakfast, like 50 people show up.
What is that New Hampshire magic?
Oh, magic! The Magic of Monadnock.
What? Oh, magic
That's
of
my
Monadnock.
gala.
What is that?
That's my gala.
I want to know about
300 people are going to be there,
What
and
is
it's
that?
actually
It's
I don't
coming
know
up
when does
shortly.
this air.
Is it 21st?
The day it aired. That's the day. So if you're listening to this, you missed it. So, but anyway, come next year. So every year I create a gala. Well, they always did it, but this one's going to be a lot of fun. So I got 5 magicians to be there, walk around, do tricks, and it's a lot of fun. And then, but we also give out the Citizen of the Year award. We do the Business of the Year award. And since you're going to hear this that day, the Business of the Year is Monadnock Paper Mills. They're a 200-year-old business in Bennington, a far end of the Monadnock region. Feels like 2 hours from here, but it's less. And then the nonprofit of the year is the Historical Society of Cheshire County. So they're really good. They haven't told me who the citizen is yet, so I'll find out that night.
I will talk to Jenna. I want to tell her.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, you know Jenna?
Yeah, she's going to be my guest in 2 weeks.
Nice. But you should congratulate her in 2 weeks.
I will.
But so for me, the gala is the full celebration of the year. It's the Oscars. It's the
Oscars of the Monadnock region.
There we go. So think of
Where is it?
Huh?
Where
it's
is
going to be at the Zorn Dining Common at Keene State College. It's the only place I could fit 300 plus people at one place.
That's very exciting. That's a lot of work to prepare all that stuff.
It's what I used to do, right? It's what I do. So I don't mind it. But it's, again, that energy, what you feel today, like you see me getting excited about what I do, right? Think about that, and I'm projecting it on 300 people. I run around like a crazy man. I have so much fun. But I also have found moments in that day where I said, wait, you need to meet so-and-so. And I go grab them and I bring them over. You see, actually, the folks here are going to film it for us. So you'll get to watch it later.
Yep.
Or if you're smart, you go out and buy tickets. I'm just telling you, you should come to it. Nina will be there and you'll get to meet her more. So, but the gala is that type of thing. But every month we do smaller versions of that for members, most of them are free. The gala you have to pay for because I'm spending a lot of money on those things. But
and it's all desserts?
No, it's everything.
There's everything?
Oh, it's a lot of food. It's even rabbit. There's even rabbit on the menu.
Wow.
Well, it's magic. So the chef goes to me, "You want to pull rabbit out of it?" And I said yes. And I'm so excited. But it's such a great, like, I do 5 different events a month, and it could be everything different. We're doing a car show in May. We're bringing classic cars to downtown Keene.
Wow.
We're doing
That would bring a lot of people to local business, right?
So we are an organization. The other part of our organization is that we are going to be involved in whatever way somebody wants. For example, in Peterborough, we run the Pekin of Peterborough. It's Peterborough's version of Pumpkin Fest, right? So the chamber is responsible for paying and doing all this, raising the sponsorships, signing any forms, making the decisions with the city. And we have a group of people that are from Peterborough that help us put it together. In Keene, for Pumpkin Fest, which is the same type of event, all we are there for is we help. They send the checks to our place, so we hand it to them. We don't touch anything, and they use our office for the day of. So we're not heavily involved into Pumpkin Fest, but we support it. Pekin and Peterborough, we have to do. So you have all these differences of what we in the car show. We're running it, but we're partners with Monadnock Ford, right? So we're all at different levels with all these organizations. But then I have a golf tournament. I have nighttime golf. We do nighttime golf.
It's torture. It's a torture.
It's such a hard life. And then we go out and we go to breweries.
And you support the local businesses. That's what it is.
Well, that's
all the time.
What we try to do is always give back, right?
Right.
And
It's
and sometimes
important.
we'll ask the bigger corporations to help us sponsor events so we could bring commerce to the smaller community owners, business owners, because these big corporations do not stay here without a strong community. So, and we haven't even talked about the important stuff we do, like a volunteer hub. We have a hub that we're setting up that will be operational in April. This hub, where you could go online, there'll be just like job listings. Think about job listings. What if every nonprofit, perfect example is the International
Festival.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the name. International Festival needs volunteers. What if you did it like a job listing on a board that said, I need volunteers, and you could click on it and get all that information? How great would that be? Well, we're creating it.
Pretty convenient.
We're going to be a volunteer hub for all the nonprofits in the area. And so these large companies could go and click on it and send their people, because everyone's asking, where do we volunteer?
That is
From
wonderful.
board
I
members
love that.
to volunteers at events. So much is going on. I have to come back. I have
You
so
have
much
to come back with like 5 episodes of the series.
I told you we weren't going to get to that.
Wonderful.
No one listens to me.
So happy to have you over in our studio
great.
and talk to you. Thank you so much, guys. If you're trying to figure out a new business, if you're new to the area and you have a lot of questions, you really want to talk to Luca and his team. They are located in downtown on the Circle.
Yep.
Do you know the address? Do you remember?
No, 48 Central Square. But you know what? I'll come to you. Just contact me. It's luca@greatermonadnock.com or go to greatermonadnock.com to get more information. But get in touch with me or put people in touch with me.
I will
call you.
I'm going to send a person right away, next week.
We need to sit down and talk, and I'd love to, you could come with me and the three of us could talk, because that sets up the stage for what we do next.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
It was a blast.
It was such a pleasure talking to you. My name is Aggie. Thank you so much, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.